All right, everybody, and welcome back to my series, Trophy Hunting. Which, of course, if you don't know what it is, uh, I recommend you check out the video, the video I made before. Even if you don't really care about the game, just so because I go more in depth, into what this series is about. But if you don't want to do that, understandable. So here is gonna be so basically, I'm just gonna give you a rundown of what the series is. If you're still watching it, so you don't know what it is. It's basically me. I am a platinum hunter. I like platinuming trophies, and I thought I like making YouTube videos, and I seen people do it, and I was like, you know what, this looks like fun, so I might as well do it myself too. So that's what I'm doing. So my first episode, I platinum on Far Cry Primal. But in that episode, at the ending, I said I was gonna platinum all three Uncharted games because I already platinum Uncharted 4. So I'm currently I already platinum Uncharted 1. I'm currently on a process of platinuming Uncharted 2 right now as we speak. Literally right there's my TV with the game. But so I platinum Uncharted Drake's Fortune. And here is my platinum journey plus review. So of course, if you don't know what the series, I have my notebook here, just in case I forget something, or so I can basically, you know, talk about what I need to say. So basically, Uncharted Drake's Fortune, which is the first one that came out in 2007 on the PlayStation 3. To me, I've played the game before. Obviously, I've played Uncharted 1, 2, 3, and 4. I've played all of those games. I beat all of those games. I believe Uncharted Drake's Fortune, I'm sorry, the Nathan Drake Collection was the first game I actually bought for the PlayStation 4. So yeah, I've played all of these games before. I've beaten all the stories, but when I looked at my trophy list, I was tired of seeing these three games on 23%. And you know what? I'm tired of this. Let me get this platinum because I heard it's not a hard platinum to do. It is just crushing is kind of a bitch. So I was like, you know what? I like a challenge. Let's do it. Yeah, like I was saying, I played all Uncharted games. It was on 23%, and I was tired of it being on 23%. This game, to me, overall review, it was a good game, but it was baby steps. I felt like it was missing a lot. You know what I'm saying? I felt like it was just missing a lot for it to become a official Uncharted game. For me, of course, it's baby steps. It felt like a vanilla Uncharted game. It just felt like a vanilla Uncharted game to me, and that's honestly something I kind of don't want to say. But there's a lot missing from this game that wasn't in future installments of the Uncharted franchise. I'm gonna get more into that on what's missing on the categories that I have set up. But but I did platinum Uncharted Drake's Fortune, and I'm gonna about to show you guys the gameplay of me getting the last trophy I needed to platinum Uncharted Drake's Fortune. So here's the gameplay of me platinuming Uncharted Drake's Fortune.
Alright everybody, and welcome to my gameplay of me actually getting the platinum on Uncharted Drake's Fortune. As you can see here, I have to do chapter 12, heading up river, which just by looking at that you probably know what achievement or what trophy I need for the year. I need up a short creek without a paddle, which is basically I have to finish the whole chapter 12 in under 5 minutes. From what I can remember, of course, it's the last platinum I need for the platinum, but last trophy I need for the platinum. But from what I can remember, this trophy or this chapter isn't that hard. But I'm gonna put it up. I'm gonna set it up on easy so I can make it even easier for me. Cause Lord knows I do not want to be here for a long time trying to get this platinum here or this trophy here. But yeah, from what I remember, this trophy wasn't really that hard. This chapter, God, I cannot speak today. This chapter wasn't really that hard, and hopefully my memory is right because I don't, like I said, I don't really want to be here. But here we go. Let's get on this little speedboat and let's get out of here, Elena. Okay. I'm gonna try to blind fire because I really don't. I know, although I do remember that this chapter wasn't that long. I don't really remember how long this chapter was. From what I can, I don't remember if 5 minutes is more than enough time to beat this chapter. So I think I'm gonna try to just go past everything and then maybe only shoot the things that I have to shoot, like I did there. Maybe blind fire because I know that's quicker than aiming down the sights. So let's try to do that. Oh my god! Oh no, barrel. Okay. Let me restart the checkpoint real quick. Okay, I don't think. Maybe that was just me. Okay, maybe blind firing does work, and that was just me. Let me try that again real quick. Uh, this chapter isn't really that hard. It's just the barrels and the water you gotta look out for, and the certain only like the few enemies that you have. And of course, I hit that damn rock again. Okay. Let me try blind firing again. See, that worked. I didn't even have to shoot those because those weren't even in my way. Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna go left next time. Alright, you know what? Blind firing, it might work for y'all, but it doesn't work for me. So I'm gonna try to aim down the sights this time because I don't want to stay here for a long time getting killed by the same barrels over and over. So, and ooh, I didn't even hit that rock this time. That means that this has to be the run. If I don't even hit the rock, this has to be the run. Let me blind fire those just real quick, cause I don't really need to shoot them. Let me shoot those up ahead of me, so I won't have to worry about them a little later. Do the same thing again. These enemies here starting to shoot already. Get out of here. Ooh, that was not. I didn't even know I was gonna be able to hit that. These enemies still shooting at me though. Piss off, mate. Okay, we're getting there. All right, this has to be the run. This has to be we're getting close to a minute now, and I think we're on to the next part of this chapter. Blind firing seems to be working so far. Ooh, that was close. Ooh, that was close. Okay, we're 1 minute in so far, and pretty sure we're almost close to the end here. Cause I remember these bunch of enemies here. I do not remember how long it was to for it to take though. Okay, let me just. Ooh, that was close. Okay, I was trying to shoot those, but I just ignored them at the end. These enemies here. Get out of here. Maybe I should just speed past them. Ooh, that was close. Ooh. Okay. I'm just panicking myself. I'm like scaring myself now. Okay. Here we go of these little waterfall things. Here we go. Yeah, let's go one. Okay. Here go two. Yep. Okay, we can count. Okay, this barrel is just falling down. Hopefully there's not a barrel over here. Okay, there's not. Good. Okay, nice. Shoot the barrel. Okay, I was having trouble shooting the barrel there. At least I'm not dead. Oh god, that was lame. Okay, let's go. Oh, there's more of those. God damn it. All right, we're 2 minutes in, almost 2 minutes. Ooh, how the hell did I not hit that? Anyway, there's almost 2.5 minutes here, and we're almost at the end. I'm pretty sure we're almost at the end. I can't drive though. It would help if I didn't drive like I took every drug in the world. Okay, get out of here. Okay, there's another one shooting at me. I don't know where he's at. He should be to the left. Oh, he probably. Oh, the dickhead probably shot the barrel in front of me. What a dick. Okay, let's try this again, shall we? I'm pretty sure that saved me some time too, because I'm not even at 2 minutes yet. Then again, it took me like all the way back, so I don't know. But then again, I'm driving still like a little dummy that I cannot get up here. There we go. Barrel. Oh, okay, nice, that worked. I think I might actually try like going past those enemies, not even like worrying about them, because like I said before, this is on easy, so I don't think their guns do as much damage as. Oh my god, now that did a lot of damage, but I don't think their weapons are gonna do as much damage as I believe they're gonna do. Considering this is on easy mode, I might want to try that, but I might want to kill these guys real quick. Okay, no, let's get past them. They're not even hurting as much as I thought they were gonna do. See, we're almost there. You don't have to worry unless there's a barrel up here somewhere, and I just ruined my whole day. Okay, we're getting close. I'm pretty sure this is close to the final because I remember this little cave. Oh, can we get there in 3 minutes? Let's go. I see it. 3 minutes. Come on. No. 3 minutes and 1 second. Wow, that's pretty lame. But there you have it, folks. There you go. Up a creek with a short paddle. Where's my platinum? There you go. Platinum. The Uncharted 1 Drake's Fortune Platinum, titled Platinum. Okay. So, there you have it, folks. Confirmation. Pretty shitty screenshot, but there you go. Confirmation that I have the platinum for Uncharted Drake's Fortune. Crushing was a bitch in this game. especially chapter 4. That's a pretty good. That's a pretty cool. That's a pretty cool screenshot too. So I'm gonna just go down like any hard ones. Brutal Slugger was pretty hard because the combat didn't really work. The brutal combat didn't really work in this game at times, where the square, triangle, square really didn't work. Survival was pretty easy, especially with the level where the descendants, like, they spawn infinite times, and you can just shoot them when they spawn up. Pretty easy, especially on easy mode, and you just have a big old shotgun on you. It's pretty easy. But there you have it, folks. There is official that I have the planet for Uncharted Drake's Fortune. Up next is going to be, of course, Among Thieves, then Drake's Deception. So yeah, I'm looking forward to playing those games as well. So now we go onwards to the next review. 14 Platinums, looking pretty good.
Alright, so now that you guys saw the gameplay, it's now for me to talk about the main story about Uncharted Drake's Fortune. If the lighting looks different, it's because I have my laptop right here. Honestly, this looks kind of better. I don't know, you guys gotta let me know. But I think I might do the rest of this video with this laptop here, because honestly, I think the lighting looks better. But anyway, let's talk about the main story. So, basically, the main story revolves around this treasure hunter called Nathan Drake. We all know who Nathan Drake is. And she's with the reporter called Elena Fisher. And then they basically get the coffin of Drake's, Sir Francis Drake. And then they found the coffin. And they get like coordinates to El Dorado, which they believe to be a city. But apparently it's not a city. El Dorado is a treasure. And when they get there, they find out that it's not a city. It's in fact a treasure. And they go on this wild goose chase to find the treasure. And they find out that the treasure is actually cursed. And they can't, you know, they go there and it's around a lot of Nazis and stuff. And they can't take the treasure out of the island because it's cursed, like I said before. And there's these descendants here that come in. They're basically like little creatures that come and try to try and like stop you from getting the treasure. They're people who used to be people, but I got cursed and they turned into descendants and all that jazz. And you basically you went there to get the intention of getting the trophy, the treasure, but eventually you found out that it's actually haunted or cursed, so nobody can get out, not you or the other people who want to get there, the pirates, basically. So basically the main story just showed up in like a minute. That's basically the main story. If you want more interest, I recommend you look it up, because I like I said before, I don't really go into depth when I make these videos about the main story. I just basically talk about what's important here. So basically, it was fun. That's really important in a video game, that the game is fun. I should be able to play your game and have a good time playing it. And honestly, I had a good time playing this game at times. Some of the missions were different, some of the missions were the same. Basically, this game, I had fun playing this game. You know, that's basically all that matters. When you make a video game, that should be your number one intention. Sorry about that. When you make a video game, your number one intention should be for me to have fun playing your video game, if you understand what I'm saying. Like, I should go into your video game and have fun playing the game. That should be your number one intention. And honestly, this game does it well. But then again, all Uncharted games do it well. Linear. This story was really linear. Not saying that's a bad thing, of course, because not really, Uncharted games aren't really games where you should have different options and ways to do it. This game is basically like a movie. And that's honestly good, because you feel like you're controlling Nathan Drake. Not only is he the main character in the movie you're watching, you're actually controlling him, and you're basically, it feels like you're part of the journey there, if you understand what I'm saying. It feels like you're part of somebody who's actually trying to get El Dorado and take it out and be rich. You feel like you're actually Nathan Drake at times, and that's honestly good, because it makes you invested. It makes the developers meant that they made you invested into the game, and that's honestly a great touch by Naughty Dogs here. Fun characters. I'm gonna get more into characters in my characters section, but characters were fun. Nathan Drake, Elena. It's always that banter between Drake and Sullivan, all that jazz. Basically, fun characters. I'm gonna get more into depth, like I said, into characters later on. But basically, all I have to know is about characters for now is that they're fun. Basically, they're just the same old good old Uncharted characters that we all know and love.
And what I mean, but I say not really any memorable moments is like, for example, in Uncharted 2, you have the memorable moments of the snow, like the snow, the train when you go into when you go into like a nice island into the snow. But in this game, there's not really any moments that like you see a cutscene of, or you see a chapter of it in a gameplay or something, and you're like, oh yeah, that's Uncharted Drake's Fortune, you know? There's not really anything like that. The only like little memorable moment I can think of is a Descendants mission, because I wasn't expecting that, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people weren't expecting that as well. But the story, this probably should be labeled under chapters, but I want to talk about it because chapters are main stories basically. So the main story in this game was pretty alright. There was a lot of plot holes and a lot of loopholes and stuff like that. There was a lot of moments where I'm like, okay, like, why are we doing this, you know? The cutscenes were okay. The cutscenes were great, actually. Basically, all I really had to talk about when it comes to the main story, it was, I guess, for it to be the first Uncharted installment, it was a great introduction to the Uncharted franchise, because it was like, okay, here are your main characters. This is basically what the game is going to revolve around. You go into an island, trying to get the treasure, platforming, all that jazz. So, I mean, that's pretty... It's a pretty good introduction, like I said before, and I will say later on as the video continues, this is a good baby steps game. This is a good game. This is a good introduction game for the Uncharted franchise, and it's not the best Uncharted game. Without a doubt, it's not the best, but it's not the worst. Or it could be the worst for a lot of people. I'm gonna leave my personal thing out of here, but yeah, it's not the best, and it's one of those Uncharted games that everybody knows exist, but nobody really says, oh, that's my favorite. But I guess for the time, at 2007, when it first initially released, it was a pretty good game, and I'm pretty sure me and a lot of other people, if we were gamers back at that time, we would have been hella hyped for it. But yeah, that's basically all I really had to talk about when it comes to the main story on this game. It's just not as fun as other Uncharted installments, but it's not a bad story either. I just wish there was a little more added to it, a little more details and whatnot. But let's move on to the next part of the review, which is the gameplay.
Let's talk about the gameplay. The gameplay plays just like other Uncharted games. There's fun platforming, which is always great. It's one of the main things that make Uncharted. Of course, platforming is one of the main features in this game, and it's just as fun as it is in future installments of the game. Of course, you climb stuff, you get there in certain different kind of ways that you would never be able to do in real life. But that, of course, is the video game, so that makes it fun. There's something I noticed about this game. Instead of other games, for example, Uncharted 4 and Uncharted 2 and 3, and those games, there's a good like mixture between platforming and gunfights. But in this game, there's a gunfights in basically every chapter. I understand that you know bad guys want to kill you or whatnot, but like there's a gunfight in every chapter. Like, yes, but no, you know what I'm saying? Like after a while, you get tired of fighting just chapter after chapter, just killing after killing after killing. I know I sure did. I got tired of right after I finish a chapter, I go into a next chapter and I have to kill more people. Like after a while, you just get tired of just like killing. Because honestly, sometimes I was just playing the game like, oh my god, when am I gonna be able to be done with these gunfights? A good example for this is like in the first chapters of the game. In chapter 3, before you go into the fort, the fortress, in chapter 3, you basically, you know what I'm saying, you kill people and then you make your way to the fortress. And in chapter 4, once you actually go inside the fortress, there's like a huge gunfight. There's like huge different segments of gunfight. And right after that, into chapter 5, you gotta do more gunfight. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand that gunfights is a big feature of Uncharted games, but so is the platforming, so is the exploring, so is just this and that. I understand that gunfights are important, but I wish that they would have mixed it up a little bit, because honestly, to me, this game feels more gunfighting than exploring or platforming or adventuring. If you catch my word, it just feels more of a shooter instead of an action adventure game. But this game compared to all the future installments has a lot more gunfighting than I really would have wanted. So it's basically a kind of a complaint I have about this game. And of course, gunfights isn't the only thing you can do to kill people in this game. You can also do melee. Of course, melee is a big important also feature of Uncharted games, but basically all there is in this game about melee is sneak attacks from behind, just tapping square like 5 times, and this brutal combo, square, triangle, square, where it never actually works for me. Because this is a trophy where you have to do like 20 brutal combos successfully. It never really worked for me. That's probably because my timing was kind of bad, but I wasn't the only one that had this problem, so I'm not the only one that's trashing the brutal comboing, okay? But there's no like killing from cover. There's no killing while jumping on top of them. There's no killing from below. There's none of that. It's just basically just regular melee. And of course, this is the first installment, so I'm not gonna go like way into depth about it, but of course, because those features were added on to future Uncharted games, so I'm not gonna really hold them to that. But that's just basically something I had to say, because it was just average melee. Another thing was controls and the camera. At times they were good, at times they didn't even give me a problem, but at times they were really wonky. For example, sometimes when you're platforming, like the camera would just like switch like that, and it would be kind of hard to see where the hell I'm supposed to go, because I don't see any of the like little bricks that you can climb on. Basically, that was a big the camera was a bit wonky. The controls sometimes were wonky. For example, the cover, when you try to like get out of cover and then like kill somebody, sometimes like it would like automatically switch you into like the different view, because you can use from the left or the right side. Sometimes like it's obviously you can kill the dude with the right side, but it just switches you to the left, and you actually manually. And if you're on crushing, this hurts you, because once you get shot, my dude, you're gonna almost die. So yeah, sometimes the controls and the camera were wonky, but then again, this was made in 2007, so I guess I'm gonna have to give it a slash for that, because there isn't really more. This problems isn't as much as it is in future installments, so it looks like Naughty Dog's actually learned about what was messing up their game. This game is a shadow of future games, and what I mean by that is it's an Uncharted game for sure. You know, I would definitely say that this is an Uncharted game. Not my favorite, of course, and not a lot of people other favorite, but I would definitely say it's an Uncharted game. But when you ask people what are their favorite Uncharted game, most of the time you get 2 and 4. You never hear 1. 3, we don't really want to talk about 3. I'm gonna get more into that into the review about 3. But 1, you never really hear anybody say 1 is their favorite, and for a reason. This game, it's a good game, but there's just a lot of, how do I say it? A lot of stuff wrong with it. Dialogue, the gameplay isn't as fun as it is in future installments. Basically, this game is baby steps. I understand this is the first game, so you're never gonna knock it out of the water in your first game, but I kind of wish they would add more features to it, because there's plenty of times where like you want to do something, but then you remember that feature isn't in this game. For example, jumping on top of enemies to kill them. How many times have I jumped on top of an enemy that like I thought I was gonna kill them, because I was playing 4 recently, and I just like land there and I'm standing right behind them. Like I that kind of ticks me off. But yeah, so basically this is baby steps to a franchise that we all know and love. So basically there's another thing I have to say, that the differences between guns. sure, you have your pistol, your Desert Eagles, and then you have your rifles, your M4s, your the M790. You have guns like that, and you have one sniper rifle and the grenade launcher and the RPG. But honestly, I was kind of like where are the miniguns and stuff like that. This game kind of has no variety of guns. So basically, another complaint. I don't really know what else I could say about this. There's not really as many guns in this game as there is in future installments, and it's basically you could basically play the whole game with the same gun over and over. Like, you could basically play the whole game with just the AK-47, because there's not really any variety of guns in this game.
Another thing I really want to talk about, touch up on in gameplay, is that there's different kind of enemies. When I mean different kind of enemies, I don't mean like, oh, different type of beast or whatnot, but when you first, of course, there's a lot of enemies missing from this game that there's in future games, like the big old turret guy and all this stuff. But there is, for this being the first game, there is more type of enemies than I thought there was gonna be. For example, there are the regular soldiers without the hat or anything, that has just a regular pistol or an AK-47. There's the snipers. There's the more buffed up dudes with a hat they have to kill, or the hat they had to knock off their hat, or the helmet. I'm sorry, the helmet they had to knock out of their head first in order to do headshots. You have the guys with shotguns. Of course, you have mythical creatures like the descendants. You have the dudes with like shotguns and AKs and M4s. It's just like there's different kind of enemies in this game, so you have to be careful when you're facing against an enemy. For example, you might be okay with you can do in like really close combat with a dude with a pistol, but then again, a dude with a shotgun, like the big heavy dudes, like the big dudes with the tank tops that have like the one shot kill gun, especially on crushing, you cannot like shoot the guy like right in front of you. So that makes it honestly a little more fun in this game, that you actually have to think about what way you're gonna face the enemy. For example, you're not gonna fight every enemy the same. For example, like I said, if it's a guy with a pistol, you can just fight him straight up with an M4. But if it's a dude with like a one shot kill, you're gonna have to stay behind cover, and you're gonna have to like pop up when you have a chance. So that's honestly something that I got a really good props to, because and it makes you think like you're not gonna be able to fight every enemy the same way, and you have to like make game plans. For example, if there's snipers up there, those snipers are one shot kills. Although they do take a little while for them to kill you, they are one shot kills. So you have to think like, okay, do I kill the sniper up there first, or do I have to kill the dudes down here first? You know, it makes you think, and that's something that's good in this game. When you're like, okay, should I waste my grenades on this dude, or should I waste my grenades on the dudes back there? The group's huddled up. You know, it's just good, because not only is it a shooting game, it's like you have to think about what you're gonna do, and you have to think about, okay, will this mess me up, or will this do good? You know what I'm saying? So it's good, because it makes you have strategy when you're facing these guys, because you're not just, okay, this is just, everybody has pistols, you can just shoot them like the same way. You cannot kill every enemy the same way, which is cool. And I really think it was a good touch here, and it really makes you think when you have to kill certain kind of enemies or certain group of enemies. So that's honestly a really good positive when it comes to Uncharted Drake's Fortune. But now we're on to our next review, our next part of the review, and it is the chapters.
Okay, now let's talk about the chapters, because chapters are really important in an Uncharted game. There's a total of 22 chapters in this game. Some don't really count as chapters for me, because like the last one is just kill the boss and stuff like that. But that's besides the point. So the first thing I have written here for chapters is that some feel the same. If you know what I'm saying. For example, chapter 3, 4, and 5, you're in this like island. It might feel the same because you're. I'm sorry. It might feel the same because you're in the same island the whole game. But like, for example, in chapter 2, 3, and 4, before you go to the fortress, or in chapter 3, 4, and 5, I meant, sorry. 3, you're surrounded by green. And 4, you're surrounded by green. And 5, you're surrounded by green. 6, surrounded. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I understand that it's all on the same island, but at least like give something to that chapter that makes it stand out. For example, in the fortress chapter, it stands out to me because you're in the fortress, in a tower or whatever. in the water mission when you're driving a motorboat, that stands out to me because you're actually driving a motorboat and you're going uphill on a river. You know, like they did it in this game, but some chapters just feel the same. Sometimes I was just playing this game like that, you know what I'm saying? Because I felt like I was being going around in circles and circles and circles around the same missions over and over and over, if you know what I'm saying. So it's basically kind of a complaint I have about this game. Another thing I have about this game is supernatural. So I know there was gonna be like supernatural beings in this game, like descendants. I know they were gonna be in this game because I played it already. But when I first played it back in, I don't know, 2017, I got scared, I'll tell you what, because the descendants, they don't look cute, you know what I'm saying? They're ugly for a reason. And the reason I got kind of scared is because, you know, I wasn't expecting supernatural beings in this game. You know, because just looking at the title cover, you see, oh, okay, I just gotta go to this island, kill a lot of people, and then find treasure and dip. But I wasn't expecting, oh my god, there's things chasing me, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't expecting stuff like that, and it honestly makes it fun because because this chapter completely chapter 19 it was, I think it was, Unwelcome Guest. This chapter basically just made, that's what I'm talking about, this chapter made it stand out, and that's why it's on mine and a lot of other people's memories when I think about Uncharted 1, because this is a chapter that stands out because you weren't expecting it. It just got you by surprise, and that's a great thing that was added in this game. Of course, some felt different. For example, there's this descendant mission, the going uphill in the river mission, the tower mission, and the mission where you go on a boat and you gotta kill Navarro. Some felt different, obviously. But there's no being that, like, in the first few chapters, they kind of feel the same after a while. Of course, it's all on the same island. That might be why some feel exactly the same, because they're all on the same island. But something cool about this game is that you go there during daytime, and the more and more it turns night, the more and more, like, for example, when you go in a graveyard and you have to kill the guys there, the more and more that it turns night, the more and more that it gets creepier. And that's something that, honestly, I love about this game, that when you get there at daytime, when the sun is still out, it just feels like it looks like a beautiful island, you know what I'm saying? It looks like just a beautiful island that has treasure. But like the darker it gets, the more you play into the game, the creepier and creepier and creepier the game gets. And you can definitely tell when the Descendants mission comes. So that's honestly something I gotta give really mad props to about this game.
And yeah, so chapters are in this game are really actually pretty interesting. Some, like I said before, some are just repetitive, green everywhere, and just surrounded in the forest or whatnot. But some are different. For example, the one that we're being shown right now, like I know I sound like a broken record and I stated this earlier, but were you, when you first played this game, expecting there to be like a mission like this where you're stuck in underground tunnels and the Descendants are coming after you? Because I sure as hell wasn't, and I sure as hell got me, and I sure as hell was kind of spooked at the beginning when I first saw this. Of course, so this game is when it comes to the chapters, it's kind of a mixed bag, because sometimes it feels like you're doing the same thing over and over, and other times it feels like this is different, this is new, this is fun, let's do this. You know what I'm saying? It's always this, like I said, it's in the same island, so it's always going to be the same atmosphere. But the fact that in some missions you actually can do different kind of stuff, in some missions you can interact with certain kind of things, that kind of makes it fun for me. And yeah, there's, for example, in some missions you can drive the motorboat, or the little boat thingy. And in other missions, you have different kind of weapons you can choose from, because not in every mission you have the same weapons you can choose from. In some missions, not until you go higher into the game, the dudes with the M4 and the M14 and the heavy dudes start spawning. So that was honestly something cool about this game. And yeah, that's really all I really had to touch up on the chapters. That although some feel the same, some are a little bit different, and that's honestly kind of badish, kind of goodish, because you would want every chapter to feel the same, so every chapter to be memorable, you know, like every chapter, so you can remember every chapter you look at gameplay and you can automatically think, oh, that's chapter 13 or something. But yeah, it's basically all I had to talk about when it comes to the chapters.
Okay, now let's talk about the characters. They're basically the same old funny, fun characters that we all know. The banter between Nathan and Sully is there. Can we all agree that Sully should be protected at all costs? But the banter between Nathan and Sully is still there. The banter between Nate and Elena is still there. Not as much as it is in future installments, but they're still there. Nate always gives banter to the enemies as well. There's basically a lot of fun characters. I mean, they're not as they're not as charismatic as they are in the future games, but there is a little bit of, you know, charisma there. So you might chuckle a few times while playing this game. I know I did. You might chuckle a little bit. You might, you know, give you a little smile, of course. How wouldn't you when Nate's saying stupid shit? But yeah, okay, so the main antagonist. Okay, so let me start off. There's like three. Let me start off with the first one. The main antagonist. The first one is Eddie, the guy with the leader of the pirates that he sends to kill you. The guy with the golden desert eagle. He dies with the descendants with you. I mean, you don't really see much. You don't really see him much until like later on, until like middle of the game where he actually dies. You don't really see him much. You just see him like, oh, first one of the treasure dies, loser, and then he sends enemies towards you. But that's about it. You don't really see him as much as for you to actually hate this guy, and as much as for you to actually, you know, want to kill this guy and say, hey, you know what, fuck you, I'm getting the treasure. You know, stuff like that. You see him, I'm sorry, you see him and he's your antagonist, but he's not one of those antagonists that you want to kill because he's been torturing you or he's, you know, sending enemies towards you and he's messing around with you. You want to kill him because the game is telling you to and because he's in your way. So basically it. The other main antagonist was Navarro. I know it was the old man, but you don't really see him. Like, you don't really get to kill him. You don't really see him. But Navarro was basically the main boss because he was in the final chapter where you basically have to kill him on a boat. Again, you don't really see him until he gets kidnapped by Elena, or he kidnaps Elena. So that's when you actually, that chapter 19 or 20, that's when the game is like, okay, he kidnapped Elena, now here's a reason for you to want to hate her. And okay, I get it, but like, I wish you would have, you know, given me more things to hate about him earlier, maybe since the beginning of the game. You know, when you get there on an island, he kidnaps you or something, or tortures you, you know, something like that. Like, make me hate the guy for what he's doing and not just hating the guy because the game is telling me, hey, this is the main boss, kill him. You know what I'm saying? Like, stuff like that.
Okay, and now we're talking about the characters. The characters in the game are there. They're fun and they are funny, and it's always serious moments. For example, this cutscene. But I just wish like there was more. How do you say? For example, you do see the enemies here in this game. You see your main antagonist, but the fact that you never really they shoot Sully, sure. But like after this, you don't really see them like anymore after this, and I wish they would show up in every chapter, or at least like do something to trigger you more or something. You know what I'm saying? Because you only see them like once in the beginning, and then that's it. And whenever you see them somewhere, you might see them in some cutscenes, but after that, you don't really see them. But in this character, just not really as much into depth with characters as there is in future games. If you understand what I'm saying. For example, Uncharted 4 is all about, okay, Nate, your brother is back, blah 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 blah, and it goes more into Nate's story. Or sometimes in Sully or in Uncharted 3, they would go like, okay, you met Sully this way, and this is how y'all guys know each other and whatnot, and Elena as well. But in this game, there's not really any story depth. It's just, here is Drake, here is Sully, here is Elena. These are your two best buddies. You go do whatever you have to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, it's set up like that. Here's your characters. They are funny, charismatic, blah, 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 blah. Here's your characters. But it doesn't really, you know, it doesn't really show you, it doesn't really, like, tell you the backstories, or it really doesn't go into depth with these characters. So that's really something I really got to talk about when it comes to characters. Considering this is the first game of the series, I would expect you to tell me more about the characters, but that's it.
Alright, now let's talk about the trophy list. This is the part where I tell y'all guys how hard it was for me to get the platinum in this game, and how hard it will, how long it took me, and how hard it probably will be for you. Of course, if you're interested in playing the game, to me, honestly, 100%, 100, it was an easy platinum. Wasn't hard. The hardest trophy was probably finish the game on crushing, but this game isn't as hard on crushing as it is on other games. For example, 4, 3, or 2. Don't get me wrong though, crushing can fuck you up. For example, on chapter 4, oh, I hated that mission on crushing so much. But crushing in this game is definitely doable. I really don't expect y'all guys to struggle as much as in Uncharted 4. I didn't really have to look up any guides in any of these games. I know for 2 I had to look up some already. But yeah. But this chapter, I'm sorry, this game only has 61 collectibles, which, you know, considering Uncharted 4 had like 150 or something, and Uncharted 2 has 101, 61 collectibles is fairly generous, and it's fairly doable. So it's not going to take you, it took me about half an hour to collect up collectibles with a guide. So it's not as time consuming. There's a lot of miscellaneous trophies, for example, kill enemies with 3 grenades, kill enemies with different kind of ways, kill enemies from behind, or kill enemies with different weapons, which basically it's super easy to do once you finish the game, and you can like select what weapons you want to start off the chapter with. It's really easy to do. Just restart the same checkpoint over and over and just kill them until you get the trophy. Probably took me about 25 plus hours, and honestly I expect it to take the same for y'all guys, maybe a little more. But honestly, this game wasn't, you know, hard. It was just not even time consuming. It was just, it has a pretty long platinum list, so there's a lot of stuff you kind of have to do, but it wasn't, you know, like, oh my god, this is super gonna take me forever. It was easy, you know. I definitely expect y'all guys to do it, and if I could do it, y'all can do it. If you have this game, if you have these 3 games, the Nathan Drake collection, and you want to platinum it, go ahead. 2, I'm currently platinuming 2. Crushing is difficult on 2, but 1 is definitely doable. You can do it. It's not that hard. Alright, now let's talk about my overall review of the game. It's a great game. If you enjoy the Uncharted franchise, and if you play 2, 3, and 4, you will notice that there's a lot missing from this game. For example, the melee, there's not really a lot of melee options in this game. The banter between Nate, Sully, the jokes aren't really there as much as it is in other installments and stuff like that. You know, there's just a lot missing from this game that there is in future games, but it's baby steps, of course. There's a missing from this game. But for a game released in 2007, it's a great game. For a game released in what, like 13 years ago, it still holds up. Honestly, the graphics still look pretty good at times. Maybe because it was remastered, but the graphics still look pretty damn good for a game that was remastered, basically. It holds up well. There's a lot more gunfights in this game, like I stated earlier. So if you aren't ready for a lot, if you play Uncharted games mainly for the platforming and for the exploring, you might want to skip out on Uncharted 1 because there's a lot more gunfights than there is exploring and platforming. For me, honestly, to me, it's probably the worst or the second worst. I'm not going to tell you what other game I think is worst, but it's probably the worst or the second worst out of the main 4 Uncharted games. That's just how I feel. Again, it feels like it was trying to be an Uncharted game, but it wasn't just quite there yet. It felt like it wanted to be an Uncharted game. It wanted to fit in a franchise, but it wasn't just there yet because there was a lot missing, which is honestly understandable. But there's a lot missing. For all, baby steps is the best way to describe this game. It's baby steps. It wants to be the Uncharted that we all know and love now, but of course there's a lot missing, and you really can't do much about it. But for me, overall between this game, Uncharted 1 is definitely, if you enjoy the Uncharted franchise, you should definitely play it. If you haven't, and you have the Nathan Drake collection, I would recommend you go ahead and platinum it because it's not difficult, and it's a nice platinum to have in your collection. But honestly, it's not a hard game, like I said before. But honestly, for me, overall review of Uncharted Drake's Fortune is a 7 out of 10. And I know I said that, I know I'm pretty giving out 7 out of 10 because the last game was 7 out of 10. But this game is just, I like it. But it's missing a lot. It's missing, how do I say this? I like it, but it's like missing a lot of features, and the story has kind of a little bit of plot holes in it. The dialogue sometimes is like, sometimes they're like really quiet to each other, and it's like ominous how like quiet it is at times. So basically, yeah, 7 out of 10 for my review of this game. Okay, so let's talk about the good and the bad. The good honestly has to be the gameplay, the characters, the chapters at times, and the main story. The bad was that there's a lot of missing features, a lot of gunfights, more than platforming. Which, if you like platforming, oh sorry, there's a lot more gunfights. Weak antagonist again, and just basically felt like some chapters were the same. So basically, my main review of Uncharted Drake's Fortune. If you think my review is stupid, please let me know in the comments. Please let me know what you think about Uncharted Drake's Fortune. Do you think I gave it more credit than it needs? Do you think I need to give it more credit than it needs? Or do you think it's just a completely bad game and it's the worst Uncharted game in a franchise? And if you played the game, tell me how your journey was. Was it hard for you? Was it easy for you? Please let me know. Alright, everybody. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. If you didn't like it, dislike it if you like it. This is Hazard Chris. And my next review is going to be Uncharted, the second one, Among Thieves. I think that's what it's called. Something like that. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and have a good day.